that goes into all of this, and it describes all the, from studies they've made, the electrical nature of the space itself and the electrical plasma that contained in space, that all space is made, seems to be made of this electric plasma, which is simply electrical lines of force. And it's very reminiscent of the etheric body and the many lines of force that make up the etheric body, and the millions and millions of little tiny threads of energy that is described as being the etheric network. And it does relate also to healing, because wherever energy doesn't circulate properly, if it gets congested around certain areas in the body, then this is a place where trouble can erupt, can be found. And particularly today around the solar plexus region, I think we've mentioned this before, where much energy can be congested, and it can cause problems with the stomach or the liver or the pancreas or whatever.
There's a deeply spiritual component to this whole subject of the etheric body. We speak of the one in whom we live and move and have our being, and that is what we know, whom we know as God. Alice Bailey said it should be carefully borne in mind that the etheric body of every form in nature is an integral part of the substantial form of God himself. Not the dense physical form, but the form-making substance. She said we use the word God to signify the one expression of the one life, which animates every form on the outer objective plane, and the etheric or energy body of every human being is an integral part of that etheric body of the planet itself, and consequently of the solar system. And it's through this that we can understand that we are all one, through this medium. Every human being is basically related to every other expression of divinity, no matter how small or how great. And knowing this, I think, should awaken us a profound sense of responsibility and of gratitude, and an awareness that we are either contributing to the upliftment and the enhancement of the one life, or we are drawing from it and depleting it in ways that are not productive. To me, this is what the science of ecology is trying to demonstrate on a very outer physical level of the planet itself.
Yes, and it's interesting that the whole thing with globalization today seems to be an affirmation of this interdependence that we have, particularly at the economic level.
And there are a lot of people who resist it.
Right. And but there is this, it's kind of another manifestation of the etheric network, the interdependence of all forms in nature, all forms upon the planet, including the planet itself. We are all interdependently related.
And that doesn't automatically mean a good thing, which is, I think, why there is so much suspicion of globalization, because if there are selfish impulses on the part of the dominant players in globalization, we will all suffer.
Right, and you see in globalization where the economic flow of goods and services are not always smooth.
Right.
And that's another indication
or freely distributed.
Right. And that's a problem of illness, illness of the human family, that we're not distributing, we're not
sharing.
See the need of distributing evenly and equally and sharing. And that is leading to, I think, to a lot of the illness and the problems that we have in the human family right now.
That's a sign of disease right there on the level of the whole human kingdom. The fact that we allow, 1 in 5 people to live on $1 a day or less. And we allow half the world's people to live on $2 a day or less, while wealth is increasingly being concentrated in the hands of a tiny minority of the world's population, and yet we accept this when it should make us just run screaming into the middle of the street with a bullhorn. It's not right. It's a sign of a deep malaise, I think. This clot that exists is going to cause an attack.
And, well,
attack.
that's what a heart attack does.
Yes.
I mean, it's a clot. Your arteries get clogged up in a spot, and that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the blood stops flowing.
The life cannot flow. And the same thing is happening on the human level.
Right, and the life is electrical energy, and that's what's not flowing.
An important point, I think, to take away from this discussion of the etheric body is not only an understanding of its scientific basis, but of how we can contribute. It's a means of service that becomes apparent when we understand it. It explains why meditation done by a group can be such a service to humanity, because it allows a group of minds to focus together on the injection, if you will, of light and love and power into human consciousness, to radiate throughout humanity energies of spirituality and upliftment. And this is what the etheric body does. It radiates. It's sometimes called the aura, because the sphere of radiation that the etheric body emits is what is known as the aura. That's why the Bible said the shadow of Peter passing by healed. Wouldn't it be lovely if our own aura or shadow could heal our family, our group, our workplace, our community, our nation, our planet? Well, it's up to each of us to work on the energy that we give out so that it will be more healing.
Yes, so we're all responsible for the energy that flows through our bodies, and we're a small part of the one whole, but we still have a responsibility to our bodies. We of the lesser lives within our body, and for ourselves as being a part of the greater life. So yes, it's all interrelated, and that's what we have to think about it, and really sit down and think about that, because it's overwhelming if you can.
Please take advantage of the offer from Lucis Trust, and that's the free paper. It's a gift to you from Lucis Trust, and a lot of people seem to be interested in this topic, the etheric body. And so if you'd like to go into greater depth, just order the free paper, the title of which is The Etheric Body and the Seven Centers. And what you need to do to get a copy of this paper, absolutely for free, is give us a call at 1-866-695-8247. That's 1-866-695-8247, and ask for the etheric body. For the closing, you have been listening to Inner Sight. Now we would like to close with a world prayer called the Great Invocation. It's a call for light and love and goodwill to flow into the world and into our hearts. Let's listen for a moment to these powerful words.
From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.